I had always expected to go to university. It was never something that was a choice. It was just something that was expected of me to do. Even when I was in middle school choosing my high school classes between academic and applied, it was automatically assumed that if you chose academic, you were going to university. That's back in grade 7 and 8 when you're 12 and 13 years old. I expected to go in on my first day and meet lifelong friends and go to class and party every night and go to my exams and not have to worry and basically be a glorified high school. The media portrays that university is a big party scene and that you don't have to worry about academics because it's more about finding a social life than anything else. I spent 2.5 years at UW and I maybe talked to 3 people. I never met a single person who had common interests. I tried to get involved and I found it extremely difficult to work around a schedule that was not consistent. I was extremely depressed that I was no longer an honor student, that I found it difficult to maintain grades. I found it difficult to study. I found it extremely difficult to take notes. I had no one to go to class with, so I hardly ever went to class because I had no one to share ideas or thoughts with. My profs didn't care. I actually had a philosophy 101 instructor write on my essay, "I don't want your name, I want your student number." So I was no longer Megan, I was 203-86191, and I felt like that was a brand on my face. And I felt like everyone else around me was succeeding and I was not. Like, I felt that everyone had just continued on to high school and I had somehow lost what I had. And I found it difficult to express this to the people around me because it was expected of me to do well. It was expected of me to be scholarly and excel in school because that's what I was known to do. I could never go to my parents and be like, "I actually failed that class," because I had never failed a class before. I had never had that kind of conversation with them, and they had always had high expectations of me to succeed academically. They had never worried about me in high school because they never had to. And so I started lying about passing grades. I started lying about how many classes I was taking, and I basically lied my way through 2.5 years of school. I was depressed, and I couldn't explain it. I couldn't explain to myself how I went from getting 90s with no effort to failing half my classes. I didn't know what happened, and so I just internalized it and blamed myself for being dumb. That I had to figure out how to fix it. Because an Ontario Scholar Honor student should not be kicked out of school for a 60 below GPA. My GPA went from a 2.98 in my first semester to a 1.34 in the semester I got kicked out. I am extremely glad I got myself out of UW at the point I did, because if I had stayed, it would have been even more detrimental to my physical and mental health. If I could go back to my grade 10 self and sit in careers class and walk myself through what I know now, I would definitely be telling myself to look at college more than university, to really explore what I enjoy doing. I wasn't adequately prepared with the essential skills to succeed in university. I wasn't prepared for what university actually was.